Morning. It's 5:20 in the morning. Birds are singing. I've been awake for 2 hours. This is often how I start my day. Wide awake when everyone else is asleep. After posting yesterday, I experienced the reminder of what it's like to post anything, whether it be to friends or to the world, and I was sucked back down the vortex of waiting to see how people reacted, and it reminded me that it's almost debilitating. So I have to reframe in my head what it is that I think I'm trying to do. I simultaneously enjoy doing this and also don't enjoy the results at the same time. So it's a bit of a battle in my head. I've imagined myself into my future self, which is coming very soon, into a world where I get up and use these hours when everybody else is asleep in my new studio, which is completely insulated and warm and not like the shed that I was working in before. Yesterday I went to visit a friend who lives nearby, and that particular friend is just somebody that I connected with recently that I haven't seen for years, and it was a really lovely meeting them again, because they had so much to say about who I was when I was in my 20s that I'd forgotten about and reflected a lot of stuff to me about me that I hadn't realised, positive stuff. And that was a massive boost to my feelings about how I can progress forward in life, I think. Anyway, this person isn't on social media. They don't have Instagram, they don't have Facebook. They don't know what I've done since I saw them last, apart from what I've showed them since I've reconnected. And I showed them my video from yesterday and they thought it was really good. But I also showed them and read out some of the things that I had penned and posted a few years ago when I was really trying hard with getting online and sharing what I do. And I thought I'd come and read out something that I wrote back then, because I mentioned warts yesterday. It's often a running theme in my life. But I also mentioned perfectionism yesterday. So this is penned on the 6th of September 2019. My jewellery has warts. Not as many as there used to be, but they're still there, tucked away in the armpits of my creations. I posted to my personal profile recently a little video about perfectionism. It was called Finished, Not Perfect, and the whole thing sums up how I feel looking back on past works and how I feel about present ones. Sometimes it's okay to call something finished, warts and all, because even the fairest face can have a great big gnarly mole in the middle and still be desired. At least my husband desires me. In order to progress, I have to push myself beyond what I have previously achieved. My brother said, rather than trying for perfectionism, aim for excellence. And that resonated because it's definitely what I've always done. Making mistakes or just accepting the limits and quirks of a process can end up producing perfection. and I am on a mission to produce perfect spirals right now. Then I realised there are many different types of perfect spirals, all valid. I actually like the warts of my creations. They represent not a clinically machine-produced work, but an organically birthed, warts and all piece, showing it was handmade from start to finish, as long as it doesn't detract from the overall end result and effect. I'm happy to offer up what I have made for purchase. Ultimately, I could always melt it down and start again. Such is the fluid nature of metal. Either it is molten form, or it is yes less yielding, but infinitely varied solid. So yeah, reminding myself that it doesn't matter what I make. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. The joy should be in the making and in the learning process. I am kind of apprehensive about going back to making jewellery because I'm quite good at the things that I do, but my skill set is quite limited really, and it's frustrating because the ideas in my head are just off the scale, the things I would love to make. So what else did I want to say? Perhaps I just need to leave it there. Oh yes, coming back. That's what I wanted to say. So I'm kind of on board with the idea of, having a go with YouTube and sharing content that others might find interesting, hopefully without any goals in mind, just to see what happens. So I've got some content that I posted again a couple of years ago now. I can't make any jewellery making content at the moment because I don't have a working workshop, it's just a room at the moment. But again, I showed some of my older contents to this friend of mine, and she was like, oh, why aren't you posting that? Why aren't you putting that on YouTube? So I've got a couple of videos of me just, making jewellery in the conditions that I had before. And they were posted a while ago on Instagram and Facebook. Is it relevant to post it here? Is it like a quick catch up, a quick way of showing what it is that I have done in the past and may progress forward with? What do you think? I've come out with my necklace on. So in my other life, collecting antiques and things like that, I picked this necklace up a few years ago now, and when I first bought it, I just thought I could see it was silver, and it was handmade with no hallmark on it or anything like that. And I thought to myself, oh, it looks like it's made out of marbles. And I thought to myself, oh, perhaps it was just like some student at college and they just had they just thought they'd make something with marbles. And I had it for a number of years. And then when I started doing the antiques and collectibles, I came across Art Deco pools of light. And I went back and looked at it and I realised that actually this is rock crystal and it is an original Art Deco pools of light necklace. And it's one of my most favourite things. I'd like to have a go at making one, only with my own twist. Some of my ideas of things that I'd like to make are strictly for me. When I go back to making jewellery, some of the things I want to make, they're not for sale. I want to make things for me, just for the pure love of doing it. And I was inspired to do this a couple of years ago. I was at a local auction, and very often auctions deal with the estates of people who have passed on. You know, families can't keep everything. Where would they put it? And sometimes you've got to let go of things. And there was about, I don't know, 90 pieces of artwork that were brought and put up for auction, and they were all by this one chap, and it was like it was his life's work all in one go. He just painted for the pleasure, and he hadn't sold any of it. And at the time, I was struck by the sadness almost that some of the things I made that I sold, I wished I hadn't sold them, because I enjoy what I've made. I enjoy looking at it, and my jewellery's all out there. I haven't made a huge amount really. It's a crying shame that I wasn't able to work consistently. I'm a kind of boom and bust person. So I get like this surge of ability and energy, and I get loads done and then nothing. Anyway, at the time, I realised that I have got some items of jewellery out for sale, an embarrassingly small amount now. They're on display in a little craft cooperative in Llangollen, and when I get making again, I do intend to make things that are going to go out for sale there again. I'm hanging on in there by the skin of my teeth, and I'm very lucky to have that particular selling platform opportunity. And but I realised that some of the things that were out for sale had sat there for quite some time. You know, when I first put them out, I was excited to put them out for sale. You know, I had a really lovely selection of things. But as time went on, some of the things that were out for sale were made like 20 years ago. And I realised that they were like my evolution or my legacy or something. So I actually went and grabbed a load of stuff back, because there were things that I will probably never make again. And some of the things I looked at and I thought, oh my God, I can't believe I've got that out for sale. It's really bad. So I grabbed a few things back. And I'm hoping to make, alongside things that are going to be for sale, I'm hoping to make some pieces of art that are literally things that are just for the pleasure and to keep for myself. Anyway, so I'm kind of listening to myself doing this, and at the same time I'm a bit cringe. Whenever I become fixated on a new YouTube channel that I like and I resonate with, I often go back, even if they've been on YouTube for years. I scroll right back to the beginning and I look at their roots and find out where they started and see the progression and the way they've evolved and become a bit more slick about what they're doing, or even just chatting. And so, warts and all, here I am, sitting outside in the dark in the early hours of the morning. My brain is always the most active first thing in the morning. It's the most sharp, it's the most creative. So perhaps I'll do this more. And now I need to go away and work out how to join the two bits of video together. Yesterday, when I uploaded that video, I couldn't work out, well, I was too eager to just do it. It was a kind of just do it moment. But I couldn't work out how to just edit the tiny little bit at the end. I'm sure it's really straightforward, but yeah, splicing two things together, that's going to be my next thing to learn about. What am I doing today? What am I doing today? Today I'm making cat food, or I might be doing it tomorrow, I don't know. I've had cats for years, and the latest batch of cats we've got, a brother and sister, 3 months apart but the same parents, and I decided to do things differently this time round. She'll be 2 at the end of March and he'll be 2 at the end of July, and I decided to make a rod for my own back and start them with a raw food diet. And so I, much is the nature of my special interest, I joined a couple of raw feeding cat groups, and I learnt and I tried it, and they've been on a raw food diet now for a year and a half. So I've gone from being a vegetarian who would recoil in horror if I so much as brushed against a piece of meat, to going out and buying like 100 quid's worth of like liver and chicken wings and slabs of beef and I bring them back and I mince them all up and I get my hands in and then portion it up, and yeah, it's been a bit of a horror story, but I do believe it's a better way forward for the cats. But it's like, it's looming. I don't really want to do it, but once I've done it, I won't have to do it again for another 6 weeks. Yeah, my life. I might post photographs of that sometime. Photographs, videos, I don't know. I might just edit that bit out. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do next because I can't really do anything else in here. I might just go and sit outside and listen to the birds. Happy Monday.